Well, Graeme, it's been quite a while since we came to see you about what's going on commercially at United just now, but I believe today there's a big announcement about something that's coming up soon.
Yes, we're releasing the details today about the Player of the Year night for 2018, and that's going to be on Saturday the 14th of April, 7:30 start at the Carlton Hotel.
The Carlton Hotel?
Yes.
That's not usual. Usually the Player of the Year is held over at the Hospitality. Is there any reason for the move?
Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be a few people wondering, will the club get the Hospitality back and then, you know, take an event that sells out every year away from there? The answer is it's just simple. We need to get more people at our Player of the Year event. The Hospitality Suite, it sells out every year, mainly because we can only invite about 70 or so fans to it, because when you add in the players, the staff, you know, the coaching staff, etc., it doesn't leave a huge amount of tickets for fans. And I strongly believe that the Player of the Year night should be an event where we can easily attract you know, a couple of hundred people to, and we can get 250 people at the Carlton. It's obviously a lovely venue right in between Prestwick and Ayr, so it's very, very accessible. It also gives anyone who's coming from, you know, a wee bit of a distance away the opportunity to stay there, getting discounted rooms if you phone the Carlton and mention that you're coming to the event. So yeah, it's basically we need to get more people at the event. I think especially a season like this where there's a lot of successes. You know, none of us know how the season's going to end up, but there's certainly a lot of successes, and you know, whoever wins the awards this year, I imagine there'll be quite a few in the running, and it's going to be pretty exciting.
I know, because I've had a quick word with you before this, that there is an extra special reason you might also want to go to the Player of the Year this year. Yeah,
well, I suppose you know, even when it comes to season tickets or coming into games, we're trying to find ways to add value to everything that's got anything to do with the club. And so again, the Player of the Year night will try and, you know, add a few things too. We've got a great band called Audio Class who are going to play, you know, up until the death at the night. It's going to be a great buffet as well. But we're going to release the strips for season 18-19 on the night. So the only people that will be able to see them will be those who are actually attending the event, and we'll have that'll be a really good new addition to the Player of the Year night. That'll be releasing the home and the away kit for the following season.
So no hints beforehand?
There'll definitely be no hints, and there'll be no, I know that there's normally some sort of leak online, but there definitely won't be this year. They'll definitely be under lock and key.
So it's really just coming out on the night, special announcement on the night?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we'll decide what time on the night, and the strips will be rolled out, and that'll be everyone who's there will get to see the strips for the 2018-19 season.
Well, you've said you've got other events coming up as well, but can I just drag you back to one? The Burn Supper this year seems to have gone down really well. Yeah,
the Burn Supper was fantastic. The Burn Supper, I think it was 2-3 years ago, we resurrected it, we brought it back to Somerset Park, and it was just a fantastic night. And my view was that, you know, we could maybe make it something far bigger, go to a different venue, make the event far bigger. However, clearly, you know, there wasn't quite the demand for that, or there wasn't the interest for that yet, and that was, you know, entirely my fault. It was a mistake, and it set the event back a year. So this year we went back to the Hospitality Suite, and you know, Graeme Hill, who organises the event, put on an absolutely fantastic show, and we've had some fantastic feedback. So the Burn Supper will now definitely be staying at the Hospitality Suite every year, and you know, we've already got, you know, big plans for next year's. It's going to be on the 1st of February 2019, and we've already, you know, Craig Brown's signed up to be one of the speakers for that. So again, you know, I'm sure it'll be an absolutely fantastic night, and it's an event that we didn't quite sell out this year. Next year I'm sure we will, and again, you know, that will be an important event in the calendar.
Graeme, I know that you're also planning a couple of slightly different things this year as well. I don't know where you're holding them or whatever, but I've heard a murder mystery night.
Yeah, we'll have the Shirt and Shorts draw, which is you know, every summer, early July. We'll formalise a date for that shortly, where, you know, anyone can try and get their name on the shorts or the back of the shirts. That's a popular event every year. But we really want to try and add another event. I think we've got space for at least one more event in the calendar. We're probably going to go September, October time, and we're going to have a murder mystery night in the hospitality suite, and we'll have actors who will come and play a various part in it. The theme will be something to do with the club, so it'll probably be, you know, an United Awards night or something like that, and the actors will be playing, you know, Ian McCall or whatever, so that should be really good fun. It's a company that have started doing it specifically for football clubs, so they're already this season going to be into Crystal Palace, Wolves, Sheffield Wednesday have booked them like for 5 nights in a row for their Christmas parties. Funnily enough, they're at Airdrie on Friday. Airdrie have done well selling tickets for it. So something different. I think any of these events, when you get, you know, your supporters or people who have got some sort of affinity with the club into the room, and of course the events are there to try and raise some money for the club, but we also want to make sure if there's a good night, and I think you know, you mentioned to me yesterday, you know, these nights are really enjoyable, and I think that's the main thing, is that people enjoy themselves. So yeah, I'm just working with the organisers at the moment to see what gaps they've got in their schedule, what gaps we've got in our schedule. We might wait until the fixtures are released in June before we just do it and make sure that we do it after a home game on a Saturday. But yeah, it's going to either be September or October, and you know, again, hopefully that'll be something that if they'll really buy into, and we'll get sure it'll be a good night.
Now, let's go to things more commercial, about bringing money into the club, not just through events. A few weeks ago we were looking, and suddenly you had these wonderful new boards appearing around the ground. It does make the ground look better, it does show the supporters coming in. How's that kind of area going?
Yeah, trackside boards are important, because I think they obviously bring in money, and it's they make the ground look better, and of course, you know, we can hopefully add value to the businesses who decide to put their boards around Somerset Park. But yeah, before we played Rangers, I had been speaking to quite a few different companies about trackside boards, and of course once that cup draw came in, you know, it meant that we could push them through, you know, very quick and get them up, and that was Castle Water and Jordan Electrics and the National Trust, and all the boards look fantastic, and you know, again, that's something that we put in a lot of work up to the start of next season, try and get, you know, the whole ground filled, especially with new boards that are colourful and that make the place look good, and of course, you know, hopefully they can do you know, some good for the businesses themselves as well.
Just an extra one, I'm going to throw one to you I've not even mentioned to you already. United Media took hospitality package last week. This seems to be a really good one that people like. Our guests thought it was fantastic. How's it like till the end of the season?
It mobbed. Yeah, hospitality was it's been very popular again this season. You know, hospitality tends to be. Last season was, you know, a pretty easy sell in terms of hospitality, because of course it's a wee bit easier to sell if you've got Dundee United or you know, Hibs, or you know, these kind of teams coming to Somerset. That's pretty obvious. But you know, again this season it's just very popular. Obviously with the hospitality suites, you know, now run by Ian Grant and his staff, and again they're receiving rave reviews for the way things are going up there, and the food, etc. So hospitality's been very popular again this year, and we're, other than maybe the odd few seats, it's pretty much sold out between now and the end of the season as well. Yeah.
So it's a thing for next season, get your orders in early.
Yeah, get in early. I mean, I think you know, that's one thing. We've got people who come every year, and you know, and I really thank them for that. There's certain people who bring, you know, kind of upwards of 10 people, and they organise it themselves, and they do the same every single year, and it's fantastic. And you know, again, you know, these guys know, you know, to book early, to pick your games as soon as the fixtures come out, and get in early, because there's always some games that are more popular than other, and you know, the Wraith game coming up on the 10th of March, we could probably have sold out, you know, several times over. So.
Well, another thing, and again this is a personal question, I'm maybe throwing you wobblies here today, Graeme, but the tiles, we've seen a lot of pictures recently of the tiles going up in the square just before the players run out onto the pitch there. Now, I haven't got mine yet and I intend to get one, so my big question is there still a chance to get a tile
Absolutely, yeah. We've got the tile thing's something that has been very, very popular. It was always going to be popular. Something thought about over the last few years was how we did something that gave people an opportunity to have a permanent memento at Somerset Park. And I had noticed the tunnel at Motherwell. That was kind of where this came about. I'd noticed the tunnel at Motherwell. It looked fantastic. I thought it was really good that you had messages from fans, supporters, supportive messages and things like that as the players are going out onto the tunnel. And yeah, so I contacted Patterson Trophies, and they deal with a lot of football clubs: Hearts, Hibs, Motherwell, I think Dundee, and others. And we got a sample done, and I really liked what we had, and it was always going to be popular. We've now got, I think it's 130 odd tiles up there in the tunnel, and there's room. We've probably got room in there for another. At least maybe another good 60, 70. So there's plenty of room still in there. Eventually it's going to run out, and then we'll need to look at what we do at that point. We might go down a different route and look at a brick option or something like that. But certainly there's room in there, and we're still getting orders in. It's always going to be a popular birthday present or a memorial kind of thing. And one of the real positives I find when you go in, as I'm sure you've done, is go and look in the tunnel area, and you find yourself looking around, and you can see people that you know on there, and whether it's people that have passed away or people with special birthdays or families that have got all their names on it. It's just really, really interesting to see the wide kind of scope of messages on there. It's really good.
One thing you haven't mentioned about it, and I really need to know about, is the cost for one of these.
Yeah, they're £55. £55, and of course your tile will it's a one-off cost. It's not something that you need to pay standing order every year or anything like that. It's a one-off cost, and that's that your tile will be there until Somerset, isn't it? So
I heard from some of the guys as well, you get a memento as well.
Yeah, as soon as you place the order, you get a really nice certificate which comes signed by the manager. And again, if you're ordering the tile for a present, for a birthday or something like that, then as soon as you order it, you can get the certificate, and that's what you can hand over as the present. And then eventually, say the tile will go up in the tunnel, and you can. Anyone who's got a tile in there is more than welcome. Or if you don't have a tile and you want to have a look at it, more than welcome to come in. We're here, all week, and you can come in and have a look at it. It's no problem at all.
Now, the last time I think we came in to talk to you was just about the time you were about to take over the shop. July last year, was it 1st of July?
Yeah.
I think it was. Now, how's all that gone?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. I mean, it's been, the shop is a huge success story. It's been an incredible amount of work, and we took over, and we had a game against Kilmarnock. So literally, we took over the shop, and we were selling thousands of tickets for the game against Kilmarnock. We had the new strips. We then kind of got over that period, and and then of course the season was going well, and we had some pretty decent crowds, and we then had the Christmas rush, which was fantastic. We got the online shop up and running in the middle of November, months after we wanted it, but through various problems we had, it wasn't until the middle of November, and then that was obviously in good time for Christmas. So we got Christmas out of the way, and then we draw Rangers, and of course we've got, because Rangers the initial game was called off, we had the only 10 days to sell 3,600 tickets for the game. And Jan, who does a fantastic job in here every single day anyway, has put an incredible amount of work in here as well, and
that's Jan Kerr from the lottery.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, everyone knows Jan. I mean, she's just fantastic, and I think when from my point of view, when anybody walks into that shop, you know how Jan's going to greet them, and that's just fantastic, and of course everyone knows that she shares the same passion that they do for Ayr United, but also when in the likes of on Saturdays, but also when we get a game like Rangers there and we have to sell a huge amount of tickets in a short space of time, and open every single day, then we couldn't do it without Elisa, who was a big help. Julie Sproat, who comes in and volunteers, and she gave us a numerous amount of hours selling tickets for the game, always with a smile on her face, and she also brought in some cakes, so which were fantastic. So there's buy some cakes from Julie, and Karen Malcolm, she comes in and helps out. So I mean, a lot of people put in a lot of effort in the shop, but as I say, it's been a lot of work, but I think we all feel very proud when people come in and they're buying things, because the important thing is that whether it be a water bottle or an exercise book or a rain jacket or a strip, every single penny is going back into the club, and that's the important thing in here now. Okay, but you can't sit still. You may be saying what a good year is. Is there any change of plans, any new things you want to do with the shop? Yeah, well, we want to keep improving our stock, and one of the things that we have done consistently is sell out of gear. I said right at the start, back in late June when we spoke, that the way that we would probably stock the shop would be not to order in huge amounts of goods, but to order in a variety to give people a choice. And there's very few things that we haven't had to reorder, which is a real positive, and it shows that people like what we have. And of course, listen, not everybody's going to like every single item, or not everybody's going to like the price of every single item, and that's just the way it is. But in general, we've sold way more than we ever thought we would have up to this point, and so yeah, we want to keep giving new ranges, giving new options. We want to keep listening. So it's, I think Jan's about as approachable as anyone I've ever met. So whether it be Jan or me or email the club, but if there's things that you like, let us know. And we'll get them in. If there's a demand, we'll order them in. It's that's what we want to do. We want to satisfy demand. Well, when you're talking about demand, earlier on you mentioned the strips coming out, and I got a bit excited because that is the one that gets me at the beginning of every season. Now, when are they coming out? The plan with the strips this year is that we are going to let everybody see them the night of the Player of the Year do, which is the Saturday the 14th of April, and the plan will be to have the strips on sale at the last home game of the season, or the last home league game of the season, which is Saturday the 28th of April. And if we can get them on sale then, which is the plan, no reason why we won't, then we'll be absolutely delighted. And I think it's really important to have the strips out early, have them for the full summer, and that's the plan. Have you any idea of the prices yet, the costs? Yeah, I think we'll be doing everything we can to make sure there's no increase. That's the important thing. We'll do. I don't think there will be any increase at all, and we'll keep them what they were last year. And yeah, hopefully they'll like the strips again. And I think this year's strips, home and away, were very popular. And so hopefully we'll be the same again. It's great to see so many people walking about with Ayr United merchandise on. I think it makes everybody feel good. You've brought this into my mind. We're supposed to be talking about what's happening just now. We've got a good few weeks left in the league, and I've dragged you to the end of the season. And while I'm here, I might as well say to you, what's happening about the season tickets this year? Yeah, season tickets again. We had a meeting earlier on today to talk about getting them ordered. Again, my plan would be to have them on sale. Whether we're to win the league, playoffs, whatever it might be. But I think it's really important to have the season tickets on sale. A day or so after the league campaign finishes, and that would be the aim again this year. And that's of value to the club because it gets the money in early. Yeah, I think we the manager will obviously have plans in the summer to get new players in, etc. And one of this year, everything will be again as every year. It's money's tight, so when it comes to things like new players, then if we get a good or if the fans really buy into the season tickets, as soon as they go on sale, then it will give the board that opportunity to say to the manager, well, you know what, the fans are backing you, we'll back you with that wee bit extra money. So yeah, I think getting the season tickets on sale, if we can get them on sale, at the start of May, then you've got all of May, all of June, all of July, and I think it was announced there. I think it's 4th of August. It's going to be the first league game. So yeah, you know, that would give them 3 months on sale, which would be fantastic. And you know, again, hopefully if they really buy into it, and we can get another good season, or another good more good season ticket sales moving into the start of next season. And a little extra as well, you've got all the different things like the 5-star lottery, you've got the 500 club, but it's basically support your team by supporting lots of things like the shop. Yeah, absolutely. The shop, as I said, you know, the hospitality suite this year, you know, if you're buying a beer up there, money's going to the club. In the shop, if you're buying a strip, money's going to the club. 5-star lottery, you know, again, is a huge part of the club, and you saw Jinky winning £1,000 last week, so and then scored 5 goals last night, so it's obviously brought him a wee bit of luck. But yeah, the lottery's fantastic for £1 a week. You know, chance to win £1,000 like he did. It's, you know, it's a no-brainer, and it's one of these things where, you know, hopefully the more and more members that the lottery can get joining up, again, you know, will help the playing side here. But the lottery don't, you know, they help the club as a whole. You know, there's various staircases and parts of the ground that need a lot of work during the season there. I think it was about 40,000 or something that we needed to do that, and the lottery stepped in and with money, you know, helped us to do that. So you know, that's a huge thing. The 500 fund, again, you know, for anyone who's wanting to just put in that wee bit extra. I mean, all these things, all these wee bits extra, you know, are absolutely massive to the club and to what we're trying to achieve. And of course, you know, this season the aim is, you know, to get promoted and to get to the championship. And you know, there's no question there's an extra cost to being full time, and you know, so we need to try and, you know, do whatever we can to bridge that cost, and to help the manager, and to you know, to provide him with as much help as we can. Well, thanks again for speaking to us. No problem. Thanks, Callum. Cheers.